Israel attacks Hamas sites in Gaza in response to fire balloons. Palestinians say the balloons aim to pressure Israel to ease restrictions on the coastal enclave that were tightened in May. Israeli aircraft bombed Hamas sites in the Gaza Strip on Saturday in response to incendiary balloons launched from the Palestinian enclave, Israel's military said. There were no immediate reports of casualties or damage from the attack that targeted what the Israeli military said was a rocket launching site and a compound belonging to Hamas. The political group that governs Gaza. A social media post by New Press publication showed streaks of lights coming from Gaza, as shots were fired targeting Israeli planes in retaliation of the attack. New Press also reported that 3 sites were targeted by Israel, including Beit Hanan and Jabalia. Since a May 21 ceasefire ended 11 days of Israel-Hamas fighting, Palestinians in Gaza have sporadically launched balloons laden with incendiary material across the border, causing fires that have burned fields in Israel. The incendiary balloons have been used previously in response to the tightening of Israel's blockade on the coastal enclave. After new restrictions were issued during Israel's bombardment of Gaza in May, balloon launches had mostly ebbed after Israel eased some restrictions on Gaza. But on Friday, balloons were again launched from Gaza, causing at least 4 brush fires in areas near the Israel-Gaza frontier. The Israeli military said its air raids were in response to continual launches of incendiary balloons from Gaza into Israel throughout the day. The blazes along the Gaza frontier broke out on Friday as Israel separately traded fire over its northern border with Lebanon's Iran-backed Hezbollah, in a third day of cross-border salvos amid wider regional tensions with Iran. Source: Al Jazeera, and Reuters. Other news: Afghanistan war. Taliban say jail captured and prisoners freed. The Taliban say they have captured a prison in the northern Afghan province of Georgian and freed all of the prisoners. Video on social media shows hundreds of inmates leaving the jail in the city of Sheboygan on Saturday after the insurgents launched an attack. The Taliban have taken control of the city, making it the second regional capital to fall to the militants. It is a major blow to security forces, as battles escalate across the country. Sheboygan is a stronghold of the former Afghan vice president and warlord, Abdul Rashid Dostum, whose supporters have been leading the fight against the insurgents. Local media reports that 150 people traveled to the city to help Afghan forces. The Taliban first took control of the governor's compound on Friday during intense fighting, before it was retaken by Afghan security forces. However, the region's council chief, Babar Eshchi, told the BBC the militants were now in control of the whole city, except an army base, where fighting was still going on. The region's deputy governor told AFP news agency that government officials had retreated to the airport. Violence is also raging in other parts of the country, as the Taliban continue to make rapid advances, displacing thousands of civilians. The city of Zaranj, in Nimroz province, was the first regional capital to fall to the insurgents on Friday. Other provincial capitals under pressure include Herat in the west, and the southern cities of Kandahar and Lashkar Gah. In the Afghan capital Kabul, the Taliban shot dead President Ashraf Ghani's former spokesman and carried out a bomb attack on the house of the acting defense minister. The Afghan military says dozens of Islamist fighters, including some senior commanders, have been killed in Lashkar Gah. However, the Taliban have denied the military's version of events. The US and UK governments have urged its citizens to leave immediately because of the worsening security situation. BBC news agency says on Friday, The British Foreign Office warned that militants were very likely to carry out attacks in Afghanistan. The U.S. has said citizens can receive a repatriation loan if they cannot afford to pay for a commercial flight themselves.